Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Bug Discussions podcast, the channel, man. Yo, whatever you want to call it, it is the man Jay Coop, man, back for another episode of Jay Coop's Clips. And in this episode, man, we got to talk about a very, very embarrassing loss that my Los Angeles Clippers took last night to the in-town rivals in the Los Angeles Lakers. This happened to be the last game that they will both play, against each other while both being home teams at the Crypto.com Arena. So this was the last game the Clippers and Lakers played while being at Crypto.com Arena before the Clippers go to their new one next year. And it ended in a pretty disappointing fashion if you're a Clippers fan. But I will say, man, going into this game, I really was expecting a dogfight anyway. So the fact that we were up 21 at one point kind of did surprise me. I'm not going to lie, that we were up that much without Paul George, without Zubac. But in comes the fourth quarter, and the Clippers end up having a typical Clipper classic choke job. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, without further ado, man, let's get straight into this video, man. We got a lot to go over. But like I said, man, no Paul George, no Ivica Zubac going into this game for the Los Angeles Clippers, which is a little bit tough. But regardless, in my personal opinion, man, they still should have been able to win this game. I wouldn't say pretty handily, but they still should have been able to pull this game out, you know what I'm saying? Especially considering the fact that they were up 21 at one point and 19 in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, man, the Clippers just, I guess, got to be, better at closing out games. I will say they haven't blown that many leads this year, you know what I'm saying? When they've been up by like 20, 15 points, they've been able to get the job done for the most part. But, yeah, I guess it was just one of those things this game. But like I said, man, Terrence Mann went to the free throw line, made both those free throws, and then a little bit after that, that's when Kawhi started to take over, you know what I'm saying? He got his first points of the game to put the score to 10-6. He made a little, mid-range jump shot over Anthony Davis right there in the paint to put the score to 10-6. So at this point, they were up by 4 points, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. But I will say, the Lakers, man, they were getting a lot of their points in the paint this game, at least in the first half, you know what I'm saying? They had their first 10 points in the paint. The Los Angeles Lakers did, you know what I'm saying? So they were being pretty dominant down there in the paint. Then shortly after that, I believe the Lakers ended up calling a timeout. And then out of that timeout, man, Kawhi comes out, hits a 3-point shot, and it's an and one, you know what I'm saying? Send him to the line. I actually don't remember if he made the free throw or not. I think he did, if I'm not mistaken, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I will say it was pretty crazy. But then around the 6.5 minute mark is when the Clippers scored their 6 points straight coming out of that timeout, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, it was pretty much just a game of runs, you know what I'm saying, like it usually is for the Los Angeles Clippers. But then directly after that, man, the Lakers scored 7 straight points to, you know what I'm saying, keep themselves in the game. So they were doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, all in the paint, boy. They was just getting to the rim at will, it felt like, at least in that first half, you know what I'm saying? They weren't scoring that many points, but they were holding their own against the Clippers, you know what I'm saying, the Clippers offense. But yeah, man. But I will say Kawhi directly after that hits another and one, goes to the line. I don't think he made the free throw, but at that time the score was 23-21 in favor of the Los Angeles Clippers, you know what I'm saying? But then around the 2:30 mark, man, the Lakers call a timeout after a Norman Powell turnover, you know what I'm saying? So that they were trying to draw up a good shot at that point to close out the first quarter. But then around the 2 minute mark, AD, he ends up fouling Mason Plumlee. I forgot if he put him at the line or not, but I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he only made one of those free throws, if I'm not mistaken. And then, yeah, man, with 5 seconds left in the first quarter, man, Braun hits an and one to put the score 29-28. But then, hey, man, you never believe it. This man, Kawhi Leonard, I think it was Terrence Mann or Russell Westbrook driving in for a buzzer with like 5 seconds left or something like that. He misses, and then Kawhi tips it in for the buzzer to put the score 30-29 at the end of the first quarter. So as I said, man, in the second quarter, this is when things started to get a little out of hand for the Los Angeles Lakers. They started playing a lot more sloppy, being late to the rotations, you know what I'm saying, to open shooters and stuff like that. So yeah, man, but in the second quarter, the Lakers come out of the first quarter and automatically have a team foul in the second quarter, you know what I'm saying, on Russell Westbrook, who ended up going to the line, hitting both of his free throws to put the score 38-31. And then shortly after, man, around the 9.5 minute mark is when the Lakers get their second team foul, you know what I'm saying, on James Harden, who ended up going to the line, hitting both of his free throws to put the score to 40 to 33. So I will say in the first half there was a little bit of a free throw differential between the Clippers and the Lakers, but I will say the Clippers just have a couple more players who are good at drawing contact. Obviously the Lakers got LeBron, AD, but this game, man, you got James Harden, you got another star player in Kawhi Leonard, who honestly didn't get to the free throw line that much, but you got Russell Westbrook, Terrence Mann, other guys that are athletic and get to the rim. So yeah, man, I feel like that's the reason for that. But then directly after that, man, LeBron hits a three-pointer. But then directly after that, my boy James Harden hits an and one to put the score 43 to 36. Ends up going to the line, hitting the free throw. You know what I'm saying? Doing his thing. But then, yeah, man, shortly after that, around the 8-minute mark, LeBron gets called for a foul. Or I mean, not a foul, a goaltend, excuse me. The point ends up counting, you know what I'm saying? So this puts the score 45 to 36. I want to say the goaltend was on Terrence Mann, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been Terrence Mann or Norman Powell, if I'm not mistaken. It was one of those two guys. But then, yeah, man, around the 7-minute mark is when Terrence Mann hits a decent shot out of the timeout. You know what I'm saying? Hits a little spinner, if I'm not mistaken. It was either that or a layup, because he had two pretty decent, like, heavily contested buckets, you know what I'm saying, in the paint. So it was one of those two. But then around the 5.5-minute mark, Harden hits a 2, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then a 3 he hits 2 threes back to back. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, that was a tongue twister. But yeah, he hits 2 threes back to back. So at this point, man, James Harden was feeling himself, you know what I'm saying, in the first half, and I thought this was going to be a game where we kind of just run away. But yeah, man, going in the second quarter still, man, the Lakers call a timeout around the 4-minute mark after the Clippers go on a pretty big scoring run, you know what I'm saying, to put the score 56 to 42. So at this point in the second quarter, with about 4 minutes left, the Clippers were up by 14 points, you know what I'm saying. It was looking like one of those games where the Clippers may have just pulled away, you know what I'm saying. But, you know what I'm saying, around the 3-minute and 56-second mark, man, that's when D'Angelo Russell comes out and hits a 2 right after the timeout to pull it within 12, you know what I'm saying. It's 44 to 56 right now in favor of the Clippers still. But then, man, Kawhi Leonard, he was just doing his thing, getting wide open shots this game. But around the 3-minute mark is when Kawhi hits another wide open 2 to put the score 60 to 48. Lakers were still within 12 at this point, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, this is pretty much it. But then with 38 seconds left in the first half, man, Hachimura fouls James Harden, you know what I'm saying, on a 3, so he ends up going to the free throw line, shooting 3 free throws, only making 2 of them though, you know what I'm saying. So Harden, you know, he was struggling from the 3-point line, I will say, this game. I think he was like 2 of 9 total this whole game from the 3-point land, but he was doing this thing for the most part, you know what I'm saying, just diming people up, hitting timely shots this game. But yeah, man, James Harden was probably the player of the game in the first half for me, you know what I'm saying. He ended up having 18 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists on 6 of 11 shooting, you know what I'm saying. So like I said, decent performance by him, but also Kawhi Leonard had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 6 of 10 shooting. You know what I'm saying? But for the Lakers, man, they were hooping. I'm not going to lie. Like, a lot of their guys had decent stat lines at halftime. You know what I'm saying? AD with 12 points, 3 rebounds, shooting 6 of 10 from the field. And then you also had Braun with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 5 of 8 from the field. And even Rui Hachimura was doing his thing. Rui was doing his thing for sure, man. He had 10 points, shooting 5 of 9 from the field. So he was helping the Lakers out a lot as well. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say, both teams were doing pretty horrendously was shooting from the 3-point line, you know? But I will say, I feel like this ended up helping the Lakers a little bit more just due to the fact that they're now the 3-point shooting team anyway. So they were already getting their points how they normally get them. But the Clippers, man, it's not really a live or die by the 3 for the Clippers. But it's like, man, if them 3s ain't falling for the Clippers, they look kind of lost out there, you know what I'm saying? But both these teams, the Clippers were shooting 18% from the 3 going into the half, and the Lakers were only shooting 1% better at 19% from the 3-point land. So, you know what I'm saying? It was just a little bit rough from the 3-point land for both teams, but you know what I'm saying? It was pretty even though throughout the rest of the game, through everything else. Lakers were shooting 53% from the field at half. Clips were shooting 52% at the half. Lakers had 20 rebounds at the half. Clippers had 21 rebounds at the half. So, it was, you know what I'm saying, it was a pretty even game when it came to the team stats at the halftime, but the numbers showed otherwise, you know what I'm saying? So coming out of the half, man, James Harden hits a pretty big three-point shot to put the Clippers up by 17 points at this time. It was 69-52 in favor of the Clippers, you know what I'm saying? But the Clippers ended up calling their first timeout around the 9-minute mark because the Lakers went on a little bit of a scoring run themselves to put the score 71-58. They scored 6 straight points, but then a little bit after that, man, they scored another 4 straight points to pull the score within 9 points. You know what I'm saying? It was 71-62 in favor of the Clippers still. But yeah, man, the Clippers, man, every time it seemed like the Lakers had a little bit of an answer in that third quarter, the Clippers just came right back out with another response. You know what I'm saying? Because directly after that, they scored another 5 straight points to put the score up by 13. It was 76-63 in favor of the Clips. And yeah, man, the Lakers ended up calling another timeout around the 6-minute mark because the Clippers scored another 5 straight points. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty much just, you know, the Lakers not being able to stop the Clippers offensively in that third quarter, which kind of helped them get out, you know, to that big lead. But in the third quarter still, man, this is around the 4-minute mark when LeBron decides to go take a seat on the bench. You know what I'm saying? I kind of forgot who came in for him. It might have been like Rui Hachimura or Cam Reddish, one of those guys. But then shortly after that, around the 3:16 mark in the third quarter still, Amir Coffey hits a big 3 to put the Clippers up by 14 points, 87-73. You know what I'm saying? But even shortly after that, around the 2.5-minute mark, you know what I'm saying? This is when the Clippers went on a 9-2 run to put the score to 93-75. So they were pretty much closing them out in their third quarter. I believe this is when they had their biggest lead, was in the third quarter at one point, or it might have been the early fourth quarter, excuse me. But yeah, man, Norman Powell in the third quarter hits a big 3, falls in the crowd. He puts the Clippers up 96-77. So at this point, it's a 19-point game going in to the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying? So at this point, you're thinking, yeah, this is pretty much wraps. This is game over, right? But no, here comes LeBron in the fourth quarter, man. He did his damn thing. I believe he had like 5 threes in the fourth quarter alone. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get there here in a second. But around that 9-minute mark, the Lakers went on an 8-0 scoring run to open up the quarter, you know what I'm saying, to pretty much pull the Lakers within 9 points of the Los Angeles Clippers after they just had a pretty terrific third quarter, the Clippers did. But directly after that timeout, after the Lakers just went on a little bit of a scoring run to pull the score within 9 points, man, the Lakers went on and scored another 5 straight points to pull the score within 5 points. You know what I'm saying? It was 101-96 in favor of the Clippers still. But then a couple seconds later, man, Norman Powell hits a pretty big 3 to kind of weather the storm in this game, you know what I'm saying, to put the score 104-96, only up by 8 with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Clippers are. So like I said, the lead was already blown a while ago. So at this point, I was a little frustrated, just kind of hoping they could at least close this game out, but that happened to not be the case, you know what I'm saying? But then directly after that, man, LeBron hits another 3, man, to pull the score within another 5 points. It was 99-104. LeBron was unconscious, hitting 5 threes in this quarter, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. But around the 4-minute mark, I seen a stat that said LeBron had the last 11 points for the Los Angeles Lakers at this time. So like I said, he was just willing them to this win, you know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of crazy. But he ended up hitting a bucket directly after that stat happened to put the score to 104-106 in favor of the Clippers still, only by 2. But then AD comes down and ties the game 106 apiece after he made 2 crucial free throws, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but then around the 3-minute mark is when, you know, the Lakers ended up getting the lead finally after being down pretty much the whole game. It was 109-106, so the Clippers ended up blowing a 21-point lead, you know what I'm saying, to close this game, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, man, but the Lakers, man, they went on, this was around the 1-minute mark, I seen this stat, but it said they went on a 15-2 run in the last 5 minutes and 21 seconds. So like I said, man, LeBron was killing us pretty much the whole fourth quarter. He had 5 threes in the fourth quarter. He ended up having 19 points himself compared to the Clippers only scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter. And the Lakers total combined scored 39 points in the fourth quarter. So 39 points combined to the Clippers 16. It's just not ideal if you're a Los Angeles Clippers fan, you know what I'm saying? It's usually the opposite, where the Clippers will score like 16 points in the first quarter and then end up turning it on in the fourth quarter, but this was just a complete opposite, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, at this point, like I said, man, when I mentioned the score, it was 109 to 106, but D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura were hitting big shots for the Lakers down the stretch, not only LeBron, but they ended up going up by 5 points, man. It was like, I want to say it was 114 to 109, and it was like 40-something seconds left. And this is when the Clippers decided, you know, they ended up putting a couple quick buckets together, you know what I'm saying? Kawhi Leonard, I believe, got one. I forgot who got the other one. It might have been like Norman Powell or something like that, but they ended up pulling the game within 2, you know what I'm saying? It was a 2-point game. It was 112 to 114. So the Clippers were still, in, striking distance, but they had 9.3 seconds left on the clock, and this resulted in a Kawhi Leonard driving in, you know what I'm saying? He got to the post, you know what I'm saying? Kind of did a little spin on the block and just missed the shot. It kind of just hit the front of the rim. LeBron got the rebound, threw it to Cam Reddish for a dunk, and that was pretty much the game, you know what I'm saying? So the Clippers ended up blowing a 21-point lead, which, like I said at the beginning of the video, they haven't really blown many big leads this season. So it was pretty, pretty underwhelming game. But like, was I specifically mad about the game? A little bit, but I was more mad about just them, building bad habits, you know what I'm saying? Especially when there's only like a month and a half left of the season. It's like, bro, why are we blowing 21-point leads, damn near in March? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the time of the year where you kind of have to, step on other teams' throats and get the job done with early, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit disappointing, but I will say LeBron just went nuclear. It was one of those kind of outlier games. I don't mean to disrespect LeBron like that, but it was kind of an outlier. Like, what game is LeBron hitting 5 threes in a quarter? You know what I'm saying? So, you're just going to live with it as a Clippers fan. It sucks, you know what I'm saying? It really did suck, but all you can do is just live with it, the results, you know what I'm saying, after LeBron hit 5 threes in a quarter, you know what I'm saying? So, but to talk about some of the final stats in this game, there was a lot of scoring going on both sides, I will say, you know what I'm saying? So, let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Let's go ahead and start with the Los Angeles Lakers, because they did have the best player in this game, in my personal opinion, in LeBron James. LeBron James, man, he ended up finishing the game with 34 points after having 19 in the fourth quarter alone. He had 6 rebounds, 8 assists on 13 of 21 shooting, and 7 of 12 from 3. So this might be one of LeBron, man, he's having a career year from 3. I believe he's shooting like 41% from 3 this year. I think this is the best of his career. So LeBron, man, he's lighting it up this year, man. He's finding other ways to affect the game as he gets older, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the ways. But AD, he ended up having 20 points, 12 rebounds on 8 of 15 shooting. So it was a pretty decent game from AD, you know what I'm saying? He was contesting shots, but like I said earlier, man, he did get in a little bit of foul trouble against Mason Plumlee, which that didn't really end up mattering later on because Mason Plumlee was fucking dog shit down the stretch. So yeah, man, Mason Plumlee, get your shit together, bro. I'd much rather have Daniel Tice in your spot because you've been pissing me the hell off. But to go on to D'Angelo Russell, man, who had 18 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists on 6 of 10 shooting, and 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. So he had to hit some crucial shots down the stretch too. Like I said, I think he hit one before the Lakers went up 114. Or it might have been a 3 to put them up 114. It might have been like 111 at that point, and then he hit a 3, pretty big 3. I know you guys seen it where he didn't even really jump. He kind of just shot it, you know what I'm saying? I think LeBron passed it out and he just went up with it, no motion, you know what I'm saying? So D'Angelo Russell was pretty clutch this game, you know what I'm saying? But Rui Hachimura, man, was pretty big for the Lakers this game too, man. He was their 4th leading scorer on this team this game, you know what I'm saying? He had 17 points, 2 rebounds on 8 of 15 shooting. So overall, man, it was a pretty good game for the Lakers, man. Like I said, 19 of LeBron's 34 points came in the fourth quarter, so that's really what you like to see if you're a Lakers fan. But Kawhi Leonard, he ended up having 26 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists on 11 of a 19 shooting. So he had an all right game. I just would have liked to see him a little bit be more aggressive down the stretch, but I mean, it is what it is. But James Harden, he had a decent game too, he had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists on top of shooting 8 of 16 from the field and 2 of 9 from 3. So he did definitely struggle from the 3-point line, I will not lie, and he has over the past like 2 to 3 games. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully James Harden get a little bit of a 3-point shooting rhythm. But then another stat line that I really like to see as a Clippers fan was Terrence Mann scoring 16 points. He's had 3 pretty good games in a row now. So hopefully Terrence Mann can, you know, put forth that effort in the upcoming games, especially if we are down Paul George and Zubac. So we definitely are going to need him. But he had 16.6 rebounds, 2 assists on 7 of 9 shooting. So he was really efficient. Norman Powell ended up finishing the game with about 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 6 of 15 shooting, and also 2 of 9 from the 3. So he was also struggling from the 3-point line, which is something that I feel like will figure itself out later on. But yeah, man, I feel like he's just a little bit of a funk right now from the 3. Same with James Harden, but they'll get it back. You know what I'm saying? But overall, man, the team stats, Lakers just played a little bit better, especially down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? Lakers were shooting 55% from the field compared to the Clippers 51% from the field, and they were shooting 39% from the 3, which is pretty decent for them compared to the Clippers 27%, which is pretty bad for them. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, man, Lakers, it was pretty even on the rebounding battle too, 39-36 in favor of the Lakers. 8 of those boards were offensive for the Lakers, and 9 of those boards were offensive for the Los Angeles Clippers. But overall, man, I got to say it was a pretty good game. I mean, especially if you're a Lakers fan, but I mean, as a basketball fan in general, it was a pretty good game seeing LeBron go crazy in the fourth quarter or whatever. But I mean, as a Clippers fan, I just hope we can get our shit back straight. You know what I'm saying? Just get back on track, because this is the type of loss you just don't want, no matter who the team's against, a good team or a bad team. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember last year we lost a 21-point lead to the Milwaukee Bucks. So, I mean, it's a little bit different now. You know what I'm saying? We're blowing a lead to a little bit or a lot worse of a team in the Los Angeles Lakers, with all due respect. But yeah, man, shout out to the Clippers. I feel like they can pull it back, you know what I'm saying, get within that top 3 seed before the season ends. They're currently sitting at the 4th seed. They have 20 losses right now, so we still got time, Clips Nation. So let's get our head back on straight and get ready for that game on Friday against the Wizards. That should be an easy dub, but knowing the Clippers, bro, you can't ever just count out a L, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, until next time, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave it with a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. But like I said, man, until next time, peace out.
In the jungle like I'm Conan, count up with both hands. Switch the flow like it was broken. I'm on the road, man, making plays just like DeRozan. I shoot my shot, and that shit wetter than the ocean. I brag a lot, but with the wind and come the boasting. I made a lot from them apartments that I sold, and he ain't make it up to college. So them streets where he enrolled in. I know I'm a scholar from the moments that I was exposed in.